Hello, hello, and welcome to Growing in Love. Today is Friday, so it's time for my weekly video. Um, this place, I'm hoping you'll join me here because I want it to be a place where you can learn how to nurture and grow the love in your relationship, but also to continue to grow individually by learning from the challenges and the gifts that come up in your relationship. So these two parts that make up growing in love. All right, so today what I want to talk about is feeling stuck in your relationship and what do you do to feel happy again? How do we get unstuck? So let me introduce myself first. So I'm Mariette West. I am a relationship coach and I help women to reignite their relationship, rekindle their romance by reconnecting first to themselves so that they can connect from a peaceful, loving place to their partner. So today I wanted to talk about this being stuck in a relationship. And I don't know if you've seen the cartoon where they show two haggard looking men who are behind bars. So their hands are up, they're holding the bars of looking like they're in prison. And they look really unhappy and things aren't going well for them. And then the next frame of that cartoon is showing that when you pull back from the picture, these two men are actually just holding up these bars and can at any time, there's no walls, can put these bars down and walk away. So this cartoon kind of talks about how we are the ones who are often keeping ourselves feeling stuck. Now, I want to talk about why we might do that and how we're doing it and what to do instead. So, why do we keep ourselves stuck? So, without knowing it, we feel like we're free. We feel like we're making decisions and doing things and thinking the way we want to think. But what's just underneath the surface is that often we are the ones who are inadvertently keeping ourselves stuck. So we want to understand why we're doing this and how we're doing this. It is incredibly common for us humans to sabotage ourselves and our relationships in ways that keep us stuck and keep us not having the success and the things that we want for ourselves. So this is the good news. We can just take down our prison bars, take them down, and find ways to break free from these sabotaging things that we do. So this is how we create these mental prisons. So there's a person named Shirzad Shamin who has written the book Positive Intelligence, and he has done a lot of research to find out how we actually stay in these mental prisons and what is the kind of characters that we take on to keep us stuck. So I'm going to go over what these are. And as I go over them, I'm going to put them into the examples of having it's your birthday. So I want you to imagine it's your birthday. This is what's going on around you. And this is how you might react if you were in any one of these saboteur character traits, which is perhaps keeping you stuck in your relationship, feeling haggard, unhappy, not fulfilled in your relationship. So this isn't to say that there could be things going on in your relationship that are outside of your mental prisons, but we want to always check in ourselves so that if we are the ones who are sabotaging ourselves, we have that power to make the changes that we want to make. And so we always want to start there, because for most of us, there's something at play that is keeping us stuck. So this is where we grow in our relationship by seeing what the challenges are and being open to learning something new about what that might be that's keeping us stuck. So these different saboteurs are as follows. So they are the judge, the stickler, the avoider, the pleaser, the victim, the restless, the hyperachiever, the controller, the hyper rational, and the hyper vigilant. So let me go through each of these and just give you an example, again, that you're imagining it's your birthday. And I want you to think about which way you kind of would react um, when things aren't going well, or you're just automatically reacting this way. You can relate to it in some way. So maybe not exactly, but see if you can connect to any of these. So first of all, the judge finds fault with themselves or with other people or the circumstances. So you might be saying something like, why aren't you more appreciative or loving or romantic or thoughtful for my birthday? Why don't you spend more time with me? Why don't you ask me what I want? Why don't you tell me how you feel about me more often? All of these kind of things. What's wrong? Or you might go, if you're judging on yourself, you might say things like, what's wrong with me that you don't take time to find me something special? Are you not thinking I'm important enough? Or whatever that might be. Most of us have the judge in one way or another. We go into this blaming and judging, finding fault with other people, ourselves, or the things around us. Okay, so the second one is the stickler. So this is the excessive need for perfection, order, and organization. So you might be saying something, if it was your birthday, you didn't get the right cake. This isn't what I wanted. I need it to look, the dinner table to look perfect, right? So you're really very excessive about things being perfect. You spot things very quickly that you feel are not quite right. Now, this one I can relate to a lot. So how it played out for me was I would often have, I don't have the right wine. You didn't get the right wine. How embarrassing. Like, it really was upsetting to me that things weren't the way I thought they needed, because I wanted to be seen in a particular way. And I felt if things weren't perfect, and I still do this, I have to catch myself regularly. If I don't do something perfect, or I don't set things up perfectly, then that's a problem. So I get the stickler part of me that really tries to reach perfection. Then the third one is the avoider. Now, this is also one of my favorite saboteurs. So the avoider puts off or avoids difficult tasks puts off or avoids difficult tasks or conflict. So I am not the conflict avoider, but I'm definitely the avoider of doing difficult things, or just totally avoiding the situation at all, because I don't want to fail. I don't want to do things wrong. So it might look like in my relationship, something like, if I'm worried about, showing up at the birthday party and people judging me or whatever, I might put it off. I might be running around, leaving things to the last minute, not showing up, calm, whatever it might be. I avoid the situation until I absolutely have to. Or I might avoid a conversation because I don't want to face the conflict. So that's the avoider. The next one is the pleaser. Now, the pleaser is flatters or rescues or pleases other people so that you gain acceptance. So this kind of falls in play for me as well as a stickler, because I believe if I do things in a certain way, people will, for other people, that they'll like me more. So this is definitely where I was in the past. And it also might look like, if your partner forgets your birthday, you might be saying something like, oh, it doesn't matter that you forgot my birthday. It's, I get it. I understand, when deep down you're really upset that your birthday was forgotten. So you want to please them, flatter them, make sure that they like you and don't get upset with you. The next one is the victim. So the victim focuses on painful feelings as a way of earning attention or empathy. So, you might say, after the birthday didn't go the way you wanted it to, you might be talking to your partner and saying, I never get the birthday I want. I just wanted to have my friends over and that didn't happen. I just never seem to get the kind of birthday I want. So really stepping into that victim role and um, feeling bothered by it and wanting other people to notice that you're unhappy. The next one is the restless. So the restless is where you continually, perpetually are doing busyness. You're never content with what is. So for your birthday, it might show up as, before your things are happening, you are busy cleaning the house, you're getting your partner, you need to clean this, we need to keep busy, we need to do all these things. Just busy, 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 so that you don't really notice how you're actually feeling about how your partner is, what you want for your birthday or what you're sad about. You just continually keep busy so that you don't have to go there. Then there's the hyperachiever, and the hyperachiever is depending on achievement for self-acceptance. So in relationships, that might look like, you need your partner to also be a hyperachiever. So you're both you're trying to do all the things, make the birthday the perfect way, and you also need your partner to do that as well, so that you ultimately are accepted as, who you are. And we often rope our partners into needing to be just like we are, so that we get the acceptance that we want. And of course, when we're doing that and forcing our partner, and they're attempting to force our partner to do something and they don't do it, that brings up all the conflict there as well. Then there's the controller, and the controller is the anxiety-based need to control situations or others. So this kind of fits with what I was just saying, is that, you need to change the way you did XYZ here because I want it to look like this, or I need things to be this way. Or you might say something like, just let me take care of it because I know that I can do it the way I want it done. So believing that if you control the situation out of this anxiety, you are going to get the result that you want. And that's often how people perceive you. Then there is the hyper rational. So the hyper rational is excessively excessively analytical processing of everything, including the relationship. So at your party, afterwards, you might be going over what your partner was saying or what they were doing or what they didn't say or what they, did say, and being upset if it wasn't how you wanted it to be. So really, really noticing what the other person around you is or isn't doing, and if it's up to what you want it to be. And then the last one is the hypervigilant. And this is where we excessively notice and never stop seeing danger around the corner. So this might be showing up in your relationship as, even if your partner did something for you, it's always like, I don't know if he really meant that, if he really is an honest thing. You're questioning the integrity of what they're doing. And so you're always kind of waiting for that other shoe to drop. You're on guard, watching to see for any danger you feel like it's coming. So we can take on any of these different saboteurs, and we can take on a few different ones. We commonly have the ones that work for us or we think work for us and that we repeat over and over. So any of these, if we get stuck in using these different ways of sabotaging ourselves and our enjoyment and our relationships, it's keeping us stuck, even though we're trying to change other things. If we show up with these saboteurs, we will continue to sabotage the joy and the confidence and the well-being that we have and want in our relationships. So what do we do about it? Basically, you want to be able to notice that you have a saboteur showing up, right? We want to label it. We want to give it its name. And we want to notice that this is just a fear-based reaction of trying to meet some sort of need that we have. And realizing that that's actually not going to help us. It's keeping us stuck in that mental prison. And then ask yourself, what can I do to start to escape from my mental prison? What can I do that will help me move forward without the saboteur. So you're beginning to really um, choose to see that these are fear-based stories and that they're actually not giving you what you want. Now, this work that I'm talking about here is really what this channel is about. I want to be showing you different ways for you to actually get past your saboteurs and the things that are keeping you stuck, helping you grow and helping you become aware of the things that you want to have and how you have the power to create it. So let me just go recap very quickly the three things that I was talking about. So number one, it was that we often are stuck because we are in our mental prisons, and that we're actually the ones holding up those bars and can easily put them down. Number two, there are different types of thought patterns that keep us stuck, and these are called your saboteurs. So again, they were the judge, the stickler, the avoider, the pleaser, the victim, the restless, the hyperachiever, the controller, the hyperrational, and the hypervigilant. And then number three, what do you do about it? How do you break out of this prison? You want to call them out, notice which one is playing up for you, call it out for what it is, and then see what these stories are that you are telling yourself, and question them and believe something that feels better to you and truer to you, that can help you move towards what you actually want, which is to feel good in your relationship, to feel joy, to feel excitement. All of these saboteurs are taking that away from us. And what ultimately is under there is that we have this power to believe and act in a way that we have the love that we want from our partner, and that we're giving the love that we want to give. All right, so I hope that helps you to spot these saboteurs and to give you a little bit of an awareness of what might be keeping you stuck. So if you're interested in finding out more about different ways that you can catch yourself, interrupt your patterns, then subscribe to the channel, and I will be putting out regular Friday videos, and I hope to see you next week. Happy Friday, and we'll talk to you again next week. Bye for now.